Alright, welcome back to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. In this video, we are going to conduct our second investigation. So, as if you couldn't tell, she's gonna be fairly difficult. So, before we ask her anything, let's examine that security guard. So I guess Miss May isn't actually scaring the security guard. Oh well. Also, that security guard will never move. Like, he'll always be there. He has the shittiest job of all time. Like I said, she is not going to cooperate with us in the slightest. That is my favorite thing. I love that. I bet you learned that in lawyer school. Creep. Like, there was nothing creepy about what he said. So I love that line. I bet you learned that in lawyer school. Creep. So yeah, she's not going to cooperate. So we have a couple other places we can go to. We might as well head back to the Grossberg law offices. But once again, Grossberg is out. But it looks like his painting's gone now. I can't say I'm all too upset about that because that was one hideous painting. Also, there's no right or wrong answer there. But I agree, honestly, it's not very memorable, so I really don't remember what the hell was on that thing. So, there is something that we can do here, and that is, yeah, that's a little awkward sometimes. Trying to get it precisely on an object is a little not great. Which is why I think the touchscreen works better, because you can just touch with your finger where exactly you want to point. And that's something I don't understand. Also, you want to take B here. A is useless. This game is on the Wii. The version that I'm playing currently is on the Wii. How you don't just point the remote at the screen and control those bits with motion controls, I don't think I'll ever understand. Like, that's the perfect thing. That's why you put this game on the Wii. Is so you can have the investigation parts be controlled through the Wii remote. Like, yeah, you can present things in the courtroom by swinging the remote, but otherwise, like, why is this game on the Wii? Although, personally, I do hope that they release other games in the series on the Wii U Virtual Console. Like, I would love to see Apollo Justice on the Wii U Virtual Console. This is another guy who I like talking to. He doesn't, you know, come up... pretty much after this conversation, we never see this character ever again. And I kind of love this character, actually. Because he's just... Now he's changed his entire way of everything. Because now he's like, yep, I knew Miss May would do it. Perhaps even funnier than this guy's, what he's saying is Phoenix's reaction to this guy. So, we do in fact have a picture in our inventory. I don't know if we can use it or not. So, let's just keep talking to this guy. This is pretty great, if I do remember correctly. I have an excellent idea, sir. Currently, this hotel is known as the Gatewater. I propose that we add a subtitle. The Gatewater Hotel. Murder Manor. Honestly, I would totally stay at some place called Murder Manor. So, now, obviously, what we have to do is present this picture. Hey, look at this photograph. Every time I do, it makes me laugh. I think there is actually a game. I don't know which one it is. It might be actually Edgeworth Investigations. I don't remember, but one of the main characters in one of these games does in fact utter the phrase, "Look at this photograph," at one point. So, I mean, there you go. So you have him write it, because if you'll remember, we need something to get Miss May talking. The bellboy who swore the affidavit. Like, alright, pal, whatever you say, man. What a weirdo. And I guess I'm gonna have to say, because we never see that guy ever again. Yes, actually, it is your fault. Whatever that means. I personally would love to see Phoenix Wright without hair. So, we're bluffing right now. We do not know who this person is. And, yeah, I've said this before in one of the first videos, but Phoenix Wright, his main weapon is his bluffing. He bluffs his way through so many goddamn situations in these games, it's unbelievable. I love that. Because I can just picture that. That is one of those moments that I think works better because you can't see him. But it's just funnier to picture that. Although, yeah, this game is presented, in most of, not most of them, all of the Ace Attorney games are presented in this first-person kind of view, where you're seeing things essentially from Phoenix's point of view. I think the game that has the best presentation, at least until Dual Destinies, is Edgeworth Investigations, because not only when you're investigating do you actually get to see Edgeworth's sprite on the map, you also see Edgeworth talking to people. Like, right now, if we were talking to April May, Phoenix would be, like, on the screen with her, and I kind of like that better because it gives me more to look at visually, and it's not like once a new character pops in, they just replace the other character on the screen, and it's just kind of weird in these games. Like, say if Maya or someone were to just pop in right now, this dude would just disappear, and Maya would take his place. It's not a huge deal. It's not something that I really care all that much about. But in terms of presentation, I think Edgeworth Investigations is better, but the sprite work in this game is better. At least in terms of, like, the characters like we're seeing now. I think it's the art style, honestly. I love that. That's one of my favorite lines. Especially out of context. Just showing a picture of that out of context is pretty great. You know, what a fruitcake. So this guy, his name is Red White, and he runs Blue Corp. He's another character that has a pun name. It's very obvious what his name is supposed to be. Red, White, Blue, obviously. In Japanese, I think his name means something completely... It's still a pun, but it means something completely different. I think it's like low, medium, high, or something like that. Or small, medium, large. I forget what it is. It's something along those lines, though. So this is not something that we need to do, but it's entertaining to look around this guy's room. I said this last time we investigated, but I would always recommend looking at everything that you can in these games. Because it's sometimes you get funny things like this, you know? That's quite the thing, and of course this table is modeled after this extremely narcissistic guy's body. Just a little creepy if I do say so myself. But if you were paying attention in the opening cutscene when Mia died, God, I always confuse those two, and I don't know why. Well, they have very similar names, but when Mia died, this was the guy that killed her. Like, I mean, that's that. The game tells us this is the guy that did it. So, we now know this is the murderer. Which other games in the series don't do. I think they drop it after this case in this game, I'm pretty sure. So, you know, you don't have to worry about, oh man, do we really find out who it is every single time? Because honestly, I'd rather figure it out in the game. I don't want to see a cutscene of Wright bludgeoning Mia to death. I want a mysterious person to bludgeon Mia to death, and then we find out who did it later, because it's maybe a little bit more satisfying that way. So, this guy is very full of himself, and however, he's not lying when he says, you know, the courts and the police, they all work for me. He's really not lying. He is actually telling the truth. He has pretty much everyone in his pocket. Now, I don't get this guy's color scheme in either version, honestly, because in the Japanese version, like I said, his name is not a pun based on colors. It's just a pun on, like, size or something. I forget what his name is in Japanese, but in the English localization, his color scheme is pink, and he's got, like, purple hair. I don't understand. Why is his name Red, White, and he works for Blue Corp? You know, red, white, blue, but he's pink and purple. I don't get, personally. And he's like, blue's my favorite color, can't you tell? Like, no, not really. There's no blue on your person. Or, your personage. I think he's got, like, a little blue emblem or whatever that is on his suit, but oh well. Red White, honestly, is a guy that reminds me very much of Abercrombie Fizzwidget from the second Ratchet & Clank game. Because he's just a dude who is trying to sound smart, but he's not at all. Like, he just is consistently just making up words. Or just using the wrong words like that. And he doesn't know who Grossberg is, he keeps calling him Grodyburger. So now we're going to go ahead and scoot off to Grossberg's office. Once again, I feel like we live there at this point.